Hey guys, Hunter back again. Wanted to do a quick little tutorial here today on a technique that I use. I've had some people ask me how I go about doing this, and this has to do with prepping resin cast parts and getting them ready for primer and paint. Here on the table in front of you is a 379 hood conversion kit from one of the resin manufacturers that I deal with a lot. Very good parts. Detail is very nice on them. The fit and the overall finish is very good. The only thing that you have to pay attention to is the use of the mold release. It is very hard to paint over top of this stuff. So you have to make sure that these parts are squeaky clean and that all that mold release is gone off of it. And what I use on that is these parts here that are more the beige color. These have already been cleaned, but they are just the color of the resin, the way it comes in. And the only difference between, you know, these parts coming in the box to me and the way they're sitting here right now is they have been cleaned. So, you know, they're prepped and ready to go. I could actually wipe them down one more time and go over and prime them. And as you can see, the hood has been primed. And I did that for a reason, because I wanted to touch on a little something here later on in the tutorial. But there's a lot of things out there that I've heard used on resin parts to clean them. I've heard people talking about, you know, dropping it in brake fluid and, you know, using all kinds of these different cleaners and this and that and the other. And, you know, if it works for you, that's great. I'm personally not going to put any part that I have for a model that I'm going to put into competition in brake fluid. I'm sorry. It's just not something I'm going to do. Brake fluid is, you know, it belongs in a braking system on a car. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't belong in a model or anywhere near it. But, you know, the easiest way to clean these parts up and get mold release off of them is this product right here from Sim. It's the plastic and leather prep. It's a cleaner. And I use this on my one-to-one stuff when I'm restoring, you know, door panels or plastic interior parts or anything like that. It works very well for that. And if you read the back of the can, in the first line it says, removes mold release agents. And it will do that. And the way that I do this is, I'm not going to do this here in the hobby room, because I normally do this either outside or in the garage. I don't clean resin parts that have a silicone mold release on them in the hobby room. That can be very bad sometimes, because if you get any of the contamination from that silicone all over your hobby room, you're going to be in trouble when it comes to painting. So I definitely recommend doing your cleaning of your parts anywhere other than your hobby room. So, but how I go about doing it is I'll put down one of these shop towels that you see here, the blue ones that I use all the time. And I'll basically come in with my spray, and I'll spray all the part on the top. And then I will flip it over, and I will spray this on it, on the bottom. Same thing with the fenders and every other part. You know, just like the hood, I'll spray it, flip it over, spray it. And then I'll come in with a towel and just wipe these parts and get them pretty clean. And you want to make sure you get back into all your recesses and stuff like that. And to do that, you can use a simple Q-tip. Like in this grill shell here with the bars in it, you can come in here with your Q-tip and just rub it back and forth with your cleaner in there and get all these, you know, recessed areas. Get all that cleaned out real good. You want to get it up in all these corners and stuff is the main thing, because if you have any silicone mold release, just like down in this recess that's in this grill, in that recessed line, that's right across here. If you wipe this part just like this, you're not going to get down into that recess that's in there. So you want to make sure you get something down in there and get the cleaner in there and get that stuff out, because it will affect your paint job. Same thing just like with the fenders. You know, you have this raised edge here and you have this valley down in here. You want to make sure you get that Q-tip in there and get this cleaned out very well. There's a raised lip on the outside. You want to make sure you get all of that cleaned off very well. You know, make sure that your part is 100% clean. This product right here will clean it up 100%. It will take the mold release off. If somebody tries this and says it did not work, you probably did not get the part 100% clean. I use this. I've used it for a while now, and it does work. I can sit down and prove that to anybody here in the hobby room. I've had some people argue other things that I've used in the past and say it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, you're doing it wrong. That's just that. Now, when I cast my own resin parts, I use this product called Ultra 4, which is a urethane mold release. And as you can see on there, it says paintable. I don't recommend painting right over top of a as-cast part. You definitely want to clean up any part, even if you're using this or using a silicone mold release. It doesn't matter. Make sure that that part is 100% clean. After those parts are clean and dry, I will take and usually go out in the sink and mix up a little bit of dishwashing liquid, Dawn or, Palmolive or something like that. Anything that doesn't have the moisturizer in it, you do not want to use that. It's just got to be a straight dishwashing liquid. And I'll mix that up, and I'll actually take a small paintbrush. It's about a 1/2 inch wide paintbrush, and I'll go in and scrub that down real good with that, liquid, with the compound, or the, if I can talk here today, with the dishwashing liquid and water. I'll scrub it all down real good, get everything nice and clean, and I'll rinse this off and set all the parts over to the side and let them dry. And then at that point, I will come in and do one of two things. I will use either my Plasticoat Sandable primer, which is T235 is the part number on this. I get this from my local CarQuest store, and that's a very good primer. It is a sandable primer. And the other primer that I use that's takes a little bit of getting used to, it is the Dupont acrylic primer. This is a little bit bigger than a normal can of paint. The normal can you get 12 ounces. This can here you get 14. But the only drawback to this is it's a very good product, but this can here costs $21. So I use this pretty much only on resin parts. I don't use this on regular styrene parts. This works very good. This can be sanded, but you don't need to sand it. This is more of a primer sealer than anything else. And that is actually what's on this hood here. And I have went back and knocked this down again with 1000 grit just to see where I was at. And it's looking pretty good. It goes on very smooth straight out of the can. I don't heat my cans up in hot water or, put them on a Bunsen burner or all this crazy stuff that some of these people do. My cans, are sprayed at room temperature, and that's that, and it works. I've heard of people setting these cans in hot water, and they say that it does, it makes the paint come out smoother or this and that and the other, and it's like, well, I don't know. Me personally, my paint comes out pretty smooth, and I'm doing everything from room temperature. So, but like I say, now the one thing that you don't want to do is when you're cleaning your parts, say these parts here are as cast and they still have the mold release on them, you do not want to get these parts anywhere near this part that you have any primer on or is getting close to paint. Because if this part had mold release on it and I just picked it up right there, and with my thumb, if I reach over here and grab this hood, when you spray this, you're going to see where your thumbprint was on that hood, because that mold release has transferred from this part over to your prep part now. So no matter how clean you got this part before, if you get any of this stuff on your fingers at any point in time and you pick this up, whether you have gloves on or not, you are going to transfer it. So whenever you're messing with resin parts, especially like this kit right here, there are several different pieces to it. Go ahead and prep and clean and get every part that goes with this kit, with this conversion kit, get it 100% clean before you do anything else to it. And that's all the parts. And you shouldn't have a problem from that point on. But like I say, the Sim stuff I think costs about $9 a can. It goes a long ways. I've used this can in the garage and also here at the, working on my model parts. And it's about 3/4 of a can left in there, and I've cleaned a lot of parts with it. So definitely check into those products. If you have any questions or concerns or anything like that on any of these products, or you need to know a little bit more on how I go about cleaning resin parts, just leave me a comment on the video. I'll be more than glad to answer your questions. So I'm going to let you go on that today. We got another kit review coming up here pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. And keep on building, and we'll talk to you a little bit later. Bye-bye.